a lot of coaches would probably say like, oh, I got into coaching because I wanted to win, I wanted championships. I could care less about that, to be honest. My 4 coaches who I had growing up pretty much just pointed me back to Christ, pointed me, like, helped mold me into a good young man, a good human being. And they showed me that, like, it's bigger than the sport that I'm playing. And it took my years at Trinity to humble me to actually be like, no, you're not going to be that. Like, that's God's place. You're going to be somebody who, cares about the community and cares about others. And because of that, like, being in my life, I can now bestow that upon these kids. Like, hey, you're not going to be the guy at Gilbert Christian because that's God.
Colton coached my middle son, Brighton, for 3D Hoops last fall, and I loved his interaction with the guys on that team and with my son. So at the end of the season, I asked him if he wanted to join the coaching staff at some point.
I shot him an email. I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me. I coached your son, Brighton. I was like, I'm interested in being an assistant coach if it's still available. And he hit me back a couple days later and was like, yeah, absolutely. Come in and interview. So I went in and interviewed, and here we are.
He ended up just fitting seamlessly in with us. He knows his basketball very well. He also is very good at leading our Bible study, and he jumps in readily to do that.
You know, people usually go to work 9 to 5, that's your work window. Not a lot of people, not a lot of kids come in for personal training between that window. So I had to kind of cut off my hours a little bit as a trainer over at Iron Courts to commit to this, which I feel fine with that because like it was calling from God. So like me knowing the different planes of movement, I get to teach these kids how to actually shift their hips and how to work and how to move their feet faster, how to get stronger. And then the cool part is a lot of the kids typically want to train with me.
So initially I slated him in to help out mostly with varsity and then kind of fill in where he was needed. I knew that he wants to be a coach, and in order to accelerate his growth, being a head coach at the JV level, as young as he is going to set him up for future success.
At school at Gilbert Christian, like faith is very important, and the way we live as well, and you can see that in Coach Colton, like the way he lives, full of joy and positivity, and as a person, as a coach, in every aspect, and I love that about him. I think he's a great fit for this school.
The start of the season, right, we're 6 days away. I'm super excited for it. It should be fun. Like, I don't feel the pressure, if we are, ranked 1 or 2 or even top 10 in the state, like, there's no pressure for me to say like, oh, we have to live up to that, but rather like, hey, like, let's set our own standard. Let's create our own pressure. Do I see myself, having a future in coaching? Absolutely. I love it. It's something that comes easy to me. I can like think of plays just up out of the blue off the top of my head. And I just love the X's and O's, the scheming, the watching film, the teaching basketball. I love that. I live for it.